Typetecture is a typographic system developed by Arts University Plymouth MA graduate Elena Ruiz. It reimagines Plymouth's post-war architecture as an alphabet, sculptural, abstract, and rooted in observation. A language of place, drawn from what already exists.
I came to the city centre for a walk to discover the buildings, to look up and see how they look. In that building, you can find some nautical details that Abercrombie and the architect took in consideration. And you see some dolphins on the top, but what interested me was that a square spiral underneath the balcony. Yeah. And I took this to create one of the letters because actually it's the J. So with the bevel corners, the round corners, and this, I think that was the pivotal moment when I realized Plymouth city centre could be a typography.
Ruiz's method begins with walking, moving slowly through the city, collecting fragments of form. Manhole covers, forgotten forms, post-war facades, each detail is extracted, redrawn and rebuilt within a grid. The grid itself reflects the Beaux Arts symmetry of Plymouth's Abercrombie plan proposed after the war.
Plymouth suffered a terrible blitz during the war, and it was absolutely destroyed. The council in 1943 decided to rebuild, and they talked with Abercrombie, who was a very influential urban planner. I think he created something beautiful and very square, very graphic. Actually, the city is very, very graphic.
The final work exists as a book, a limited run edition designed to be held and explored. French folds and varied paper stock mirror the tactility of the city. The experience is spatial, layered, a kind of architectural reading.
I tried to make and design the book in a similar shape as Plymouth city centre buildings. So it needed to be a square and it needed to illustrate architecture. What I really like, for instance, is I used tracing paper in some pages to link with the idea of architecture.
Typetecture doesn't propose a new city, it reveals the one that's already there. It's a quiet system of looking, mapping attention onto materials we often ignore. Through design, Ruiz reframes Plymouth as a city of rhythm, texture, and visual memory.
I think I've always liked architecture. When I visit cities, I like to look up. And the use of typography in architecture is something that really attracts me. Because it's the union of two different disciplines, how can create something unique.